Hi Aries, welcome to your weekly tarot reading. I'm Celtic Gaia Tarot and welcome to my channel. And yeah, Aries, I know you ended this week coming on quite a difficult note and you start this week coming still on that difficult note, but it moves really quickly. So I'm just warning you, you move to the sun in the Fool, but you start that sort of sense of Monday, still a little bit fraught from whatever. I know you ended with 2 5s and you start with 2 5s, so there's still change going on and you're still processing stuff, but you move really rapidly, so trust the reading, please. Bottom of the deck, end of a cycle, there's 10 of Wands, and for some this is coming to the end of a very, very long oppressive cycle, Aries, where you felt you had to carry the world on your shoulders. It's all felt a bit overwhelming. It's coming to an end. At the top of the deck, you've got the King of Swords, and this could be you. And this is you, but developing, I think it might be you looking at the rest of the cards actually. You've earned your crown. This is about the higher mind. This is about using that sword to cut through crap. Not being over emotional, being very logical, very sort of rational in your approach. Some could say quite cold and quite ruthless, but sometimes we need to be cold and ruthless. That's just part of being alive. I think you're using this sword to cut through whatever these 5s have been around, these 5s have been about. And here and now is your additional guidance card, very, very much like the Fool, and the Sun, and the Star, which you pulled as well. That very much just be in the present moment, enjoy life as it's happening. But anyhow, you do start the week with the 5 of Cups, with the 5 of Wands, and to me that's again carried over from the reading last week as a sense of a bit of a sense of loss, a little bit of conflict which can be played out in your environment, or it can just be an inner conflict, being pulled in multiple different directions. And I'm going to guess between the past, which is the overspilt cups, and the future. There could be a bit of grief here, and you're just going to have to feel it, Aries, and move through it. There's no other way. We have to feel things to heal things, but I don't think you're going to stay here too long. And the way to not stay here too long is to feel it completely. And then move on, like you're moving on to a whole new chapter, Aries. And this is, I'm not, this is just this sort of new energy, but leaving those overspilt cups behind. And there's almost that sense of waking up and going, well, that's it. That's life, and I'm getting on with it today. And gosh, is that a good couple of days. You've got it paired with the Sun card. So you feel alive, you just feel vibrant, you feel in the present moment. I'm loving these 2 cards. I'm sorry, Aries, I'm just looking at them together and going, what an amazing couple of days you've got coming on. And it's that sort of, whatever you've gone through, you've worked through it, Aries. You're drawing the line and you're moving on. And boy, are you moving on. This is more. This is about being totally alive, Aries. You then go to the Star card. I mean, look, can this be any better? It just can't be. And the Star card is about allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to expose yourself, to... This is about the state of grace for me. It's that state of wishes coming true, of just feeling connected with divine energy, connected to the world around you. You feel connected, but it's about feeling vulnerable and allowing yourself to be vulnerable, which is interesting because it's paired with the Emperor card. And I'd say the Emperor was the least vulnerable of all the major arcana. So there might be a sense here of a tiny bit of conflict, but wanting to protect yourself in some ways, and in some ways wanting to be vulnerable and to expose yourself, Aries, in the best possible way. For some Aries, this is about focus on career and work. He can be a very good manifester card. So some Aries could be putting your energy into manifesting a new job, new career, a way of providing for people. It all depends. I mean, these are great cards together if this end of the cycle is happening. This is about having faith and focusing on creating new jobs, new careers, anything that helps sustain you in the physical world, really. But yeah, just be careful of the very opposites. That state of vulnerability was potentially a state of being closed off, because next to it you've got the Four of Discs, which can be a bit closed off as well. But it's paired with the Eight of Discs, so alternatively, some Aries are really focused on the productivity and the creativity this week, towards the end of the week. So again, next to this Emperor, so I've said it 5 times, be careful about being too closed off. But for those Aries that's not relevant for, this is about preserving your energy and putting it into very focused things. And I think it's into work it's going, and personal achievements, and it's about making money, basically. How do you live in a way that makes you happy? So yeah, it's up to you to define what it means to you, but whatever it is, and if you're focusing on your financial situation, you're doing it with so much faith. You've dropped all these 5s, and I like the 5 cards. It's part of our lives, basically. We can't avoid them. They always mean change. And it's almost you're leaving this behind, and you're carefree, and you're having faith in the future, Aries. And you've earned that crown. You've cut through an awful lot of stuff, and you had it last week too. Okay, Aries, I hope this helps. I'm going to post the relationship readings later today. So look out for them, and I'll see you next week, Aries. Bye.